Okay.
What's up, people? We're back. Mentality Focus podcast episode number 9. So I'm your host, Vessel, and with me is again Alan. We're very happy to have him back. So, and I thought since the last episode we spoke about martial arts, how it's very important, and also in the episodes before that we spoke about motivation and that kind of stuff. But how to apply all of this? I mean, ultimately you can have all the motivation in the world, but if you're not going to put it to good use, then what point in is there in? And I think most people when they embark on their self-development and their embark on their self-development, one of the first things that people look at is of course money and business. So especially I think for this topic that it will be very interesting to hear like from Alan. So because like you mentioned in the previous episode that you like you grew up in like a poor area like in Mexico City, and like you were working on the weekends and such. So could tell us a little bit more like about your upbringing and like how ultimately like you improved your own life situation?
Yeah, of course. First of all, thanks for having me again. I send to all the people in our audience a great hug. Like this program is going to be like really great topics because uh, this is 100% practical. So, well, as a little bit of the background story, like I can tell you that I grew up in one of the most dangerous neighborhoods here in Mexico City. My neighborhood is called Tepito. If you ask to any Mexican about this neighborhood, uh, you will have a general idea what's going on in there. Whatever like comes to your mind is happening in there. Drugs, weapons. By the love of God, like even at some point, like they were trafficking people. They made a movie about that situation 10, 15 years ago. The situation is that like when you come with a background like mine, you need to overcome like certain stuff because like if you grow up into that environment, the people in that environment will force you to keep you like next to them. Is what the people say all the time, like misery loves company. Well, I'm totally recall the situations that I was like living in there, what I saw, what I was going through, and it's totally like that. Misery loves company. So I think that one of the first traps that we have as a persons, and if we want to improve or money's account balance, is that check in your friends who is like trying to look rich even when you know that you are poor. Socially, I think this is one of the most important traps because like we watch the TV, we watch social media, we watch like anything, and in that moment, everything that you can see is consume, 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 consume. And the people goes that the people consume, and they do not consume because they need it, not even because they want it. The people go and consume because like the idiots next to him are telling to him like, yeah, go and buy this shit, like it's going to be cool, like you're going to be like us. So you spend the money that you do not have, um, to be cool with people that they do not like you. And in that moment, you start to fold yourself in debt. You start to do shit that you do not like yourself. So about that, I think that's like one important topic. Like if you see like all these brand clothes and you see like your friends are like spending money in there and so on, do not go with that. You know, at some point, if you keep working and stuff, you will earn the money to have this kind of clothes, to have the kind of lifestyle that you want, but you need to earn that shit first. Do not go into debt. If you do not have the fucking money, do not go and buy the shit. Learn to be yourself disciplined and be frugal. What's mean to be frugal? Frugal means that do I need it? No. Do I want it? Yes. Okay, but I do not need it. So forget about it. Okay. In this moment, like I know that it's hard to control because all the time is consume. And we believe that in the moment that you consume, like you will have like certain status, but again, that is a fucking trap. Do not fall for it. Go frugal. If you do not need it, do not buy it. Do not go into debt, and keep working. At some point, you will earn the money to buy that shit, but not now. You need to learn to live under the life standard. You know, the situation.
I live below your means.
Yeah. The situation that I have in my particular case was that we have certain standards, and you know, this neighborhood is you can say that it's quite rich. If you go into YouTube and you look for pictures or videos of this neighborhood, you will see like you will see small flats that they were made for poor people that was affected after an important earthquake on 1985, and you will see that the bathrooms and the place and stuff like they're full of marble, and they have like expensive pieces of art, because let's be honest, like the people in there, they do not have the culture, they do not have the education to know what is art or is not. They see something and it's like, oh yeah, it looks nice, like I like it, and they do not need it, but they want to bluff in the front of they want to bluff in front of their friends and say like, yeah, you know, I got this. Another the important shit that I remember that you it will catch your attention even at some point, like my dad was doing it, is that we used to own exotic animals. I have some yeah I have a couple of Tucano as a pets. I had an eagle.
Toucans.
Yeah, toucans. Yeah, I have a couple of toucans. Yeah, I have a young eagle. So you know, like, but now when I'm remembering this, I'm just saying like, you know, like we were quite out of we were quite out of our minds by that time. But yeah, maybe I'm drifting a little bit more. But you know, like again, like the point is that all these social traps, all this social pressure, just forget about it. Focus into your work. Focus into what you are doing. Because if your friends are poor, these people is going to keep you poor. They are not going to help you to go through. Maybe if you made like one guy who really is your friend and he really likes you, he will say, well, you know, like, don't do this, don't do that. Like, you need to save money, you need to invest, you need to work. Maybe, but to be honest, like all that years that I spent in the neighborhood, that is like half of my life, I never met like anybody like that. Everybody's just a frustrated motherfucker who feels envy that you are like climbing into the ranks by yourself. So
yeah. But you mentioned getting into debt, and of course, like you're living in Mexico over here. Like it's also very, very, very common that people people get into debt for all kinds of nonsense, basically. But is that something that you see also in the neighborhoods in like the worst part of Mexico City, that people they basically take out loans for complete nonsense?
Yeah. Now that you mention it, like I think that the most common situation that we saw over there, it was the fact that when you started to have money, like all the people immediately goes and get a brand new car. So it's like, okay, hold your horses. Like you're earning this amount of money and you have to pay like this amount of money for your car, but like you have like these expenses like at your household, so like how are you going to balance like this shit? But why they were doing it? Because like um, nobody has common sense, nobody has a financial education, nobody tell them like how to build how to build wealth. So in order to call the attention and to show up like, oh, look at me, like I have status, I'm improving myself, I'm doing this and doing that, like immediately they go and they buy a brand new car, like the most expensive version, the most luxurious version. The situation was hilarious because like they have like these cars, and sometimes um, when it comes about the time to put gas into the car, or like saying into the annual or semestral maintenance, like they do not have the money to do that. So this is like one of the most common mistakes that I think that we as youngsters, like we are we have like more chances to do. So again, do not go for it. If you have the money, save your money, start to think how to start a business that is going to be lucrative. But again, it's not going to be lucrative, in the short term. Like, you need to work for it. But yeah, that's the first one that you mentioned. When you mentioned that, that's the most common shit that I can recall that it was coming. The second one, it was like some similar situation that man, it's stupid. Like these apartments that they were giving to the people, they were given with a credit, like 10, 15 years, it depends on each different case. People have the money and they go to the bank, they ask for a loan, but with that loan they do not pay, they do not finish to pay the mortgage that they get from the bank to get the flat. They get loan, and with that money they go and they buy marble and expensive furniture and all this yeah, I mean, it's hilarious, and all this kind of bullshit, and they put it into the flat, and it's moronic. I cannot find another word to describe it. It's moronic because like you are putting money into something that do not yet belong to you. That's moronic. Like if it's just stupid, but like many people did it, and with that, like I can continue like thinking about like right now, like the new generations, and what the new generations are doing is like we have a store here that is like so popular among the poor people, that is called Electra. And in Electra, let's say that you can get a scooter, a motor scooter for the something about 200 pesos, 250. Let's say like something about like 15 euros per week. So again, what the people is like doing, what the youngsters are doing now in the neighborhood, they have like some money and stuff, and they say, well, it's not that much and stuff, and they go to Electra, they get the electric scooter, and they are riding the electric scooter, the motor scooter. But hey, like every week you have to pay something like 15, 20 euros, but like you have to do it like for 2-3 years. And when they finish to pay like everything, when they finish to pay like for this credit, they realize that they pay like 3 or 4 more times the real price for that motor scooter. So I mean, like if you go in there, you will see some situations that they are like totally, they're totally stupid. But if you're smart, like you can see what the people is like doing over there, and learn like financially like what you should not do at all costs.
Yeah, and also I think it's essential to mention also. I mean, where to put your money, because I mean, yeah, you can be frugal. And I also believe that you should spend your I think it's more about spending your money wisely than being frugal. I mean, if you save the money ultimately, like to put it into to the end of every week, end of every month, like put it into your business, that's completely different than saving pennies in the supermarket, which I think is stupid, because you should get the best food that you can for your money. Personally, I think that's an investment. I think investing in your business is always an investment. Even if the business fails, you're going to learn lessons from that.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I think I think it's super important to spend your money wisely and invest it in yourself, and not in some not in things, or like to impress other people.
When you mentioned, for example, like it's more that about like to be frugal. No, it is not. Uh, of course, like when I say that you should save your money, of course, it's because that money that you can spend in some other shit that you do not need, you're going to save that money, and then you're going to invest the money in something that is going to be useful for you. It can be like courses, um, your business, like new skills, uh-huh. Even gear. Like if you're like learning one skill, and then like you need, for example, a new laptop to develop that skill, but you need to invest into that new laptop, because it's going to be an asset. So yeah, like being frugal I don't think that the food is coming into being frugal. But now that you mentioned the topic of the now that you mentioned the topic of the food, I think that we have another important topic, like that is like it's food related. Another thing that is important, that is dating.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh yeah.
It happens to me like many times that I met like a girl, and she's like, yeah, like I am high standards. Like I do not like to go by Uber. Like I like to eat into this place and not this place. Like these places are the below to me, and like I don't know. Like personally, like it happens to me like uh, like very often in here. I don't know about your case. Like what can you tell me?
Well, personally, that hasn't happened to me. That I have that I have these types of girlfriends, but especially not the ones that push me to make specific financial decisions, like massive financial decisions. But I don't know, how is that in your case? Did you date these types of women when you were in especially when you were living in the hood? Is that maybe that's a Mexican thing? I don't know.
Well, I don't think that is a Mexican thing. I think it's more like a tier war thing. Like I think that all the Latin America's countries, like we have like this situation. Like you met a girl in the neighborhood and stuff. Like if you're a girl in the neighborhood, like everybody's trying to go out on a date with you. So in that moment, like their ego skyrocket, uh-huh. And especially because it can be that they are attractive, but if they are like in an environment where the competition is like that high, and there's like this amount of money like coming and going, like she's going to pretend that she's like hot shit, when like it's when we know that she's like nothing but somebody who is like selling gorditas into a post in the corner. But yeah, like I think that's another trap that the people in the audience, they need to watch out, because you will meet a girl, and of course, like you want to show to the girl that you care about her and stuff, and you start to take her to expensive places, to take the Uber for her and stuff. But again, like is your financial health, is your financial welfare that needs to come first. Uh-huh. It's not the girl, it's not another person. Okay, maybe if you want to do something like this, like for your parents, well, maybe I can say, okay, like do deception. But if it's not, like, just skip it, because at the end of the day, like this girl who is attractive but is like not that educated and so on. Even if you go in a relationship with her and you get married with her and stuff, she's just going to fool your life with more bad financial decisions. Uh-huh. If you do not have the money if you do not have the money, or you are struggling to take her to eat to some expensive place and stuff, like, don't do it. Uh-huh. It's a small decisions that you are like taking right now, but they in the middle and long term, they're going to make the difference between you and the rest of the people that is like next to you. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah,
You
especially
cannot.
there's no problem. I personally, I think that there is no problem like taking, like spending. There's no problem with spending money or taking girls out to like expensive places. But if you're like, especially if you're young, like you should focus on building a business and starting something to generate more income. That is more important
Yeah,
than that should be a very high priority.
yeah, about that, like, I'm mentioning like this advice because, like, I think that we have like people in all the ages into our audience. So, for
Yeah.
example, uh, for my age, like right now, financial situation like is way better, and like I can afford to go to the most expensive restaurants in Mexico City and with no problems. Like, also with you, like, you can afford like right now like that situation. But I think that we have like many people in the audience who still in high school or in college, and like these last advices that I'm giving to them are more directed for them to grab them and to start apply them. Like,
Yes.
when you grow up, for example, like now you finish college and you have a work and stuff, so your work allows you to have like this lifestyle. So your lifestyle, they improve uh, from one way to another. And in my case, like, it's the same shit. Like, I was working at some point for somebody else, and then like I just started a business. Then it fails. Then like I started to help my dad, and then we started to be successful. And then like from there, like we were like growing up. So that advice that I'm telling you is like, it's for the people who is in the high school that is in college. Like, really, do not spend your money, do not spend your time, do not spend your energy like trying to impress a girl or trying to impress like your group of friends, when you should be saving that money and you should be trying to start a business that is going to be profitable in the middle or in the long run. And as you mentioned it, even if it fails, well, like, you will have the experience that you failed like already like some project, and in the next one you will start with more knowledge. You will start with more partners. Even I believe that maybe you do not have the capital, but you have like pretty good idea. Like, you can look for some investors. That's the reason why I was like giving this advantage, this advice. Um,
You know what
well, I
you
think that I. Mhm.
what is essential to understand is that when it comes to money, everybody sees on like nowadays everybody sees on Instagram like the people with the flashy lifestyles and that kind of stuff. But what they don't what if you go deeper, and you start to like to listen what these people what they were doing, like their success that didn't happen overnight. That in order to at some point like come to such a financial situation, you need to learn particular skill sets in order to make it happen. You need to learn sales, you need to learn marketing, you need to learn like all the ins and outs of business. For example, like the beginning of this year, like I was a freelance copywriter. I had clients, and from that I learned I learned a lot. Like last year, I tried drop shipping. I tried drop shipping for some time. Like I've been hustling for years, and I've made a decent amount of money off of that. And some things they went really well. Other things they did not go really well. Like you fall, you go, you fall, you go, you fall, you go, you fall. But ultimately down the line, what is most important is the skills that you gain. Those make the difference. It's not down the line that you have like a particular number in your bank accounts, because those numbers you can replace them. But the skills, that takes a lot of time. That takes a lot of time to gain them. Like for example, copywriting is a skill, like sales is a skill, marketing is a skill, like is a particular skill. That's those skills, they are essential to get if you want at some point to level up your financial situation. Like for me right now, like my situation is like leveling up, because I'm learning, so like I've been learning for so long and for so much and for so long.
Oh wait, I have a call. Okay, now that you mentioned about like Instagram and social media, I think that we need to develop like I found two important points. The first one is that you see all these people who is in social media, they are influencers and all this kind of shit and stuff. Well, the situation is that you should not try to emulate their lifestyle like for now. And you need to learn the difference, because of course there is so much people in Instagram that is successful and stuff, but also when you start to see like some pictures, I find out that it happens to the guys, but this applies like more to the girls. Like many of all this shit that they are like posting on social media is fake as fuck.
Yeah.
It's totally fake. All those expensive trips like to Dubai, Qatar, like I don't know, like whatever place you want to mention, most of them they're fake. Like these girls, these people, they do not have the means to live like this lifestyle, so they fake it. And the problem, the situation is that we have all the teenagers and all the people like trying to follow like that life standard. Of course, there's something that most of the people would like to do and to live. But let's be honest, like I think that like maybe from 100 profiles that you find on Instagram, I think that maybe 5 of them like really they are like doing that. So again, do not go and do not post do not go and chase that illusion. Like you need to work, and you need to work hard. And the second point, that you were speaking about, we were speaking about skills. So all that money that you are going to save while you're like frugal and stuff, like you need to put it into good use. And the best investment that you can do is if you put like that money into yourself. Develop any skills, as you mentioned it, sales, marketing, copywriting, or whatever that you want to do, or you think that can generate you like some extra income. Like do it, because like if you are young, if you are at high school, you are in college, and you get a job from 9 to 5. Okay, it's not bad. You can cover most of your expenses with that salary, but like you need to think into the future, and to think into that future is like to learn to do something by yourself. Do not depend into that company, because at the end of the day, if you do not develop like all these social skills and all these professional skills and so on, the company one day they will come and will say to you, well, like we just get bored of you, and like you're out. They're going to kick you out, and what is going to happen? Like they're going to put somebody else into your place, and nobody's going to remember you. You are going to be like just a great person behind a desk, and because of that, like you are totally replaceable at any time. So what do you want like for your future? You want something for your future, save money, invest into develop like some skills, put those skills into practice for yourself, and with that money that you are like earning from that side job that you're like doing, like man, it's your money, it's your time. Save it and improve like even more. So
Yeah. For example, for me, now that you mentioned like investing in yourself and in courses, like I spend thousands, like thousands of euros, like on courses. If people would know like how much I spend, like it's completely insane. It's my biggest expense. I think at this point I've paid more in courses in my life than I've done in that I've done in rent and food and like everything else. Like courses are everything, like everything to like to learn skills, like buy books, buy courses. Yeah, courses like some courses they cost like thousands and thousands of euros. So, but yeah, like they're an investment. They're investment in yourself, and they in the long term they pay
they will
off.
pay off.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
pay off as if you buy from somebody that has standing and that knows about the topic or the business or what's like a particular field. Yeah, that's essential, especially nowadays, because that's the second point you're making. Like nowadays, people they are so replaceable. Like they're so replaceable in the work, not only in the workplace, but also like businesses are so replaceable because like we live in a we live in a globalized economy. Like if you if you have a particular business, there's also somebody on the some extremely ambitious somebody in the slums of like some country like far away, some extremely ambitious guy that said like I'm going to make it and I'm going to become a millionaire, that's going to take you out like with his business, because you're competing against him as well. So that's why it's super essential to always level up your skill, because if you don't, then there are 7 billion other people that are competing against you as well. So you always need to level up your skill, no matter if you're an employee or you're a business person. Like you should always invest in yourself. It's essential, because if you're not going to do it within a couple of years, in with the rate that the technology is going, in a couple of years from now, you're just like you're out, because your skill set is just outdated. I mean, the things that we have like today, like something like some particular technologies, they were not even here like 3 years ago. So it's just to give an explanation like about, and to paint a particular like image about how the future is going to develop. In 3 years from now, nobody knows what's going to what types of technologies they're going to be. Nobody has an idea.
Well, the situation is that when you mention like this point is that it's important that while you are like developing your skills and you are developing like your own personality, you need to have your own signature. You need to have your own style in order to be remembered for the other people. Like there's something that you need to develop. And why is this important? Because when you develop your skills, when you develop your personality and you develop your signature, you will come forward with your business, and that signature you will apply it to your business. And in that moment, like your business is going to be totally different from the others. So one advantage that you are going to have among the others is that you have a particular way to do the shit, to do all the work. And if the others they do not have it, well, you're going to leave them behind, because again, like they were a great people behind a desk and they're replaceable. And when the market is coming, the market is savage as fuck. Well, their company is going to be replaceable as they were, where they were working for somebody else. So like there, I think that there is something that is important that the people also take in consideration, like put yourself to work, put your skills into develop, and when you have the business, well, apply your own signature, all the experience that you already learned. And about the courses and the book, like I don't think that we really spend like that so much money as you mentioned it. I
You don't
think the
have, yeah,
situation
you
is
don't
that
have to. Yeah.
no, the situation is that I think that is, like it's more painful to do the payment, because like is one or two payments that you need to do, and they are quite big. But like if you start to check like your finances, you will find out that actually like you spend more money like into small shit than like, oh yeah, the coffee. Oh, I'm going to eat outside. Oh, um, I'm going to take like this trip to this place, and like this kind of situation. I think that we need to change that way of thinking, that a course is going to be is too expensive, or that a book is expensive. Uh-huh. It's part of the investment, and then when you invest into something that is going uh, to pay off like later, of course that is going to be expensive. Like maybe here like we're dropping truths like for free, but if you go to another place, you will find like somebody who is like selling this course for I don't know how many fucking shit, and well, at some point we're going to sell it also. So to the people in the audience, like take notes. Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you go to another place and you will see that they are like selling like this similar course, I don't know, for the certain amount of money, and then you were thinking like, yeah, well, these bastards, these motherfuckers, they were giving the shit for free.
Yeah,
But
especially
yeah,
because
like
yeah,
yeah,
because
like so again, like we need to change like that mentality, like yeah, like that course, like that book, that's expensive, like that that new PC that I need to do my job, like it's expensive. No, man, it's a fucking investment. Uh-huh. It's a fucking investment. It's something that is going to improve your lifestyle. Uh-huh. So
yeah,
go for it. Go for it. Like forget about like Starbucks. Forget about like going out to eat like every weekend. Uh-huh. Forget all these situations, because really, again, if you want to improve the economical situation, start to make sacrifices, and these ones, they are small sacrifices. These small sacrifices are nothing if you compare them to what you are going to suffer in the future if you do not do them. Uh-huh.
yeah.
So now, sorry, like I interrupt you. Tell me.
Yeah. So so I think now that we touch on this, I think it's super important also to cover like the subject of university and going to university or not. Because if in my personal situation, like I made like when I finished high school, I just went like I just went straight to Lithuania. Like others others here in the Netherlands, like they stayed here. Like most of them, they got into debt actually. And I found actually later, like especially some people, they told me like, yeah, if I knew if I knew that I would get into debt, like I would be more cautious about make what kind of decisions about with regard to studies that I would make. For yeah, so I think personally, if you're not learning in a university or in college like a particular trade that is like guaranteed, like okay, like you need this piece of paper like to become a doctor or a lawyer, or a lawyer, or like some skill that really you cannot do without the university, then there isn't much point in going. Especially,
Mm-hmm.
and I can say full disclosure, like my degree right now, like I have political science and economics degree. I mean, of course it was like my time studying was very useful for me, but the degree in itself is not. I mean, I was with you in Lithuania. That was valuable for me. I was living in another country, like learning a lot about life, and like building social skills. And especially I was reading books a lot. But yeah, like the degree in itself isn't so much of value, especially what I'm doing especially for what I'm doing right now. Uh, Actually, I got into this. I got into this into this job because I blew a whole lot of money on a particular course for how to get into tech sales. So I mean, ultimately, so what is your opinion on that? Like going to the university and especially getting into debt for a particular for a particular degree.
Yeah, about that, like it's important to mention, like uh for example, in your case, you say like, yeah, I was studying this, and at the end of the day, Well, my degree was not as useful. First of all, like you need to learn uh, what like really you want to be in life. Okay, so
Yeah, but how can
uh,
people know if they're? I mean, I didn't know shit when I was 18. That's like right now. That's almost like 7.5 years ago. I mean, nobody
yeah,
knows
yeah,
at
that's
17 what they want to do. There's like very few people that know, but the the people in their high schools and in our society, everybody pushes them to go to the university. But I don't think that for most people actually that it's not a good choice to make. Of course, if you know, like, okay, I'm going to become a doctor, like, who cares about getting into debt if you're going to become a doctor making 200K a year? I mean, if you have 40, 50, 60K of debt, like, you're going to pay that off in no time as soon as you finish. But if you have like a
yeah,
political science degree or like any other liberal arts degree, then it's going to be
gender
very tough for you.
studies.
Yeah, yeah, like these types of studies basically what we see is like these people, they get into particular degrees, like and like years after that, like none of them, they end up in working in the field that working in the field that they studied for.
Well, about that situation, the yeah, I was about like to bring the topic like later, but now that you mention it, okay, like let's bring it forward. The situation is that how the, I am in high school, like I need to start to take the decision uh like what to do, what to study when I get into college. Then the situation is that here we have the importance of mentorship. Uh-huh. So, for example, if you're coming from a family and your dad is a doctor, most likely you're going to end up being a doctor. But in the case of the people that they come from a dysfunctional family and there's like some member like missing out from the household, um, you need to start to think what you're going to do to the future and start to look for somebody who can teach you like in some way what's the deal with that business. For example, in my case, I remember that I started law school in here when first I started on my degree, and the situation is that I dropped it because I did not like it at all. I I did not like the idea to be like fixing like somebody else's problems and somebody else's stupid decisions and so on. So I was thinking that this is not for me. Um, so yeah, like the best fix for this is like look for somebody who is like maybe friend of your family or stuff. Talk talk with them, and if it's possible, go with them as their assistant. Of course, like they are not going to pay you anything. Do not expend anything.
Do it for free. Why not?
Uh, yes, yes, because they are giving you experience. So go with them a couple of days. Stay with them, like see what is the situation, and if you like it, how the job is done, like keep going with them. But if not, like you just drop it and go and ask to another person. Okay, like I don't know, maybe you say like I would like to be an accountant. Okay, look for somebody like close to your relatives or to your familiar people or friends or whatever. Like, yeah, you know, I would like to do this and stuff. Like, can you take me like for some days to see like what your the how your job is done and stuff? Like, what are the pros? What are the cons? What do you struggle the most and so on? Because everybody's made different. You know, like I met some people that are like quite good accountants, but you know, like in my case, I am not. I know some people who is like very good lawyers. Well, they're good lawyers, but I am not. Everybody's skill set is different, and you need to look like something that suits you the best. Do not go for the oh yeah, you know, like I would love to be a lawyer. I would like to be a politician. You know, like these kind of situations because yeah, we go with the illusion that we're going to do like something, and when we crash with reality, it shows to us that it's like totally different from what we were like thinking in the beginning. So for that fixing, I think for that fixing is like the best option that you can get. Like get somebody who can like be your mentor before like you go into college. And then you touch like the second topic, like it's exactly like, okay, should I go to college or should I not go to college? And then as you mentioned, like if you need the paper to be a doctor or to be a lawyer or to be like whatever,
An engineer.
okay,
If you're going to learn a
maybe,
particular skill, yeah.
yeah, okay. Like if that's the case, yeah, like you need to go to college and you need to go into debt. But an important thing to remember is that university is useful for two things. The first one is to learn the skill that you are interested in, and the second one that you have is that is the social relations that you are going to make into that school. So if you are going to school and you are going to invest into it, and you have the economical resource to invest in it, try to go to the best school that you can, even if you go like deep into debt. Because when you finish, you will have two things. You will have a good degree from a university that is well recognized. And the second one is that all of your friends, all the people that you were hanging around, all your classmates and stuff, they're going to have a good job position. So at some point, like it happens to me.
Yeah, you gain network.
Already.
You gain networks.
Yes.
I mean,
yes,
I
exactly.
met people that financially they were quite well off, but they say like, yeah, I stay in the university only because of the people that I get to meet, and
yes,
I
exactly.
gain network this way, and I'm ultimately like it's a little bit of cliche at this point, but yeah, like your network is your net worth. Like the more people you know that are on the same page as you,
Yes.
with regard to finances and with regard to your job, the better it is for you. I mean, ultimately, you cannot do everything by yourself. Like you need to learn from other people as well. And if you have
Yes.
if you have other people, if you have a network of let's say you're a lawyer and you're in a network of lawyers. I mean, you're going to learn all the skills you need in order to fix somebody else's problems, to kick and to kick ass in your career, or in your business, if you're running the place. So it really, network is that's
it's a really important part of the life. Like I saw it personally. Maybe you are at the college and you have like some people that they were like the friend of the friend of the friend of the friend. But when you will start to like later in life, when you met them and you start to speak about it, like and they say like, yeah, I remember this guy, yeah, I remember this girl and stuff. Like they start to realize that they were like in the same university and so on, and then like some kind of solidarity comes, and then if you are in a bad situation, they help you to start to improve it. So yeah, like network is I think that is like 50% of the things that you are going to win, like going to uni. And now we have like the other case. If you do not have the money to go to school, to go to college, and what you are like pursuing, I don't know, it's a gender studies degree, like I will not suggest you to go to college. In that case, like if you do not have the money
science.
and you do not have the money and you do not have like a degree that you need like really the paper to go through in your career and in life, I will suggest like go for a full-time mentorship. Like I don't know, like maybe if your dad is I don't know, maybe if your dad is, let's say that your dad is a builder, and you are like planning to go to college, but like the business is not that good and stuff. Well, like go to a mentor and say, okay, like my dad is a builder. I already know how to build like house and stuff, but we have problems with administration and so on. So you go with that person, or you pay to that person into the internet, because right now, like we have all the knowledge is already in there. All the knowledge is in the internet. You can use the social media to waste your time, and you can use it to learn like whatever you want.
Yeah.
So you go to some person, you buy the course, you take the knowledge from that person, and then you come and you apply it. You apply it into your business, the business that you're like planning to make, or your family business, or whatever you're planning to make. So in that, yeah, if that's the case for the people, like I will suggest do not go to college, because it will be a trap.
Yeah, you're going to it's a massive trap, because you're going to waste at least 4 years of your life. Some people some people they waste 6 because they take a master after that, or even longer if guarantee that they finish in those
they
6
finish
years.
on time.
Yeah, they finish on time. Yeah, like you waste so much time of your life, like so much time, and all of that time you could have used it like we're talking about the exceptions right here, like the doctors, the lawyers and such, like like those people, they should go to university, because for them, like, it doesn't matter ultimately. If you have like 50K in debt, like you pay that back, and like for you it's not so much money, and it's not so big deal to pay it back. But if you're going like for the vast majority of people, they like especially nowadays, like the internet is basically the library of all the world's knowledge, and you can learn literally any skill. Like you mentioned, like building, like I've seen some courses on how to become an architect, like for buildings and such. Like you can even that you can do it through the internet nowadays. Like you can do so much, and that's why the universities, they at this point, like for the vast majority of it, it's kind of outdated in my humble opinion. Because you can learn those skills. You can learn those skills on the internet by using like we spoke about before, like using your discipline and using that and using your work ethic to really grasp a skill, like really learn that skill, and then from there, like go to a place or make your own business, and like take it from there. That's how that's a perfect way nowadays to and you're going to guaranteed, if you're going to study any subject or any particular skill for 4 years on the internet, you're going to knock anybody that comes out of the university completely out of the park. If you're going to learn for 4 years on the internet, you're going to put the same time in as people that go to school for business. The one that learned it from the internet, they knock it out of the park compared to that one that just finished university.
Yeah, totally agree on that. So what I wanted to say to the audience is that, well, like we have like these two cases. You can say that it's unfair because some people have the chance to go to college and some others don't. But like life is unfair. Like you have two options. Like you drop yourself into the floor and start to cry about it, that how life is that unfair, or you put your ass to work. And the advice for everybody is like, yeah, well, like put your ass to work. If you are in a good situation that you can go to college, well, your situation is going to be even better. But if not, well, put yourself in a situation that you can have like the same amount of money and the same amount of financial freedom that somebody who went to the college has, that they have. So that will be the final advice that I have for the people. Do not cry like, yeah, well, it's unfair. I wanted to go to your college and to be this and that and stuff. Well, okay, you don't have the luck to do it like right now, but work for it, and then like you can do it into the future. Personally, it happens to me. Like one of my dreams was like to go abroad and to study abroad. And of course, like I spent all my 20s like working, saving, and like doing shit and stuff. I went to study like my master's on Lithuania when I was on my 30s, and well, I had to work for it. I was like looking at the other people and saying, oh yeah, well, like they're younger and stuff, but it's cool because, you know, I have more experience and now I have more money than them. So, you know, like life is not fair. Like just try to make the best that you can with it.
Yeah, and like indeed, you know, that's exactly, and especially nowadays, I wouldn't be, if you're not in a financial situation, like to go to university or to go to college. Like personally, in my situation, I would not be I would not regret it. I would not feel bad about it. I mean, okay, like you're going to miss out on a lot of good parties, but that's basically it.
Yes.
But all of that time, like, since if you're going to listen to this podcast and you're going to start at 18 years old. You're going to start developing yourself, like starting martial arts, uh, reading books, learning business, all of that. Man, you're going to be light years ahead of everybody by the time that they finish university.
I personally, I would not say that we are speaking about even 18. I'm thinking that we have people at the audience that they are like 15 or something.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if they start if they start with all these advices that we're like dropping in here, you know, like they are going to be like way ahead from the rest of the people. But again, like the choice is yours. Like you know, like we're in here and we're like giving the tips and stuff, but at the end of the day, it's you who needs to put your ass to work. People in the audience, so
Yeah, indeed.
make your choice.
Yeah, indeed. I would like to finish on that note. I think we have covered everything that we wanted to cover today. So yeah, let's wrap this up, people. So we're on to the next one for episode. This was episode 9. So I would like to thank everybody for watching. Peace.
Peace out, motherfuckers.